Hello everyone and welcome to Monday Night Raw. This time we are coming to you from Louisville, Kentucky. We are just 2 weeks away from the biggest party of the summer. SummerSlam is just around the corner, and this week we are going to kick things off somewhat where we left off last week's show, because we are opening the show with singles action between the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, and the man who confronted the World Heavyweight Champion in the main event of last week's episode. That's right, the man beast Rhino is back for more. He's coming back for a second round, and this time he's coming for revenge on Samoa Joe. Of course, last week Rhino was defeated by Cesaro, but after the match went down, Samoa Joe came down to the ring while Cesaro was celebrating, took a bit of a cheap shot on Rhino just to try to send an extra message to Cesaro, try to play those mind games, get inside the world champion's head. And of course, Joe, he chose not to confront Cesaro on that occasion. He's going to pick his spot. He's going to take his time. He was more concerned with just getting inside Cesaro's head. Didn't need to make physical contact just yet, but he's just letting Cesaro know that he's there and that he's coming for that World Heavyweight Championship. But Rhino, he's the man beast. He's not going to take too kindly to being a footnote in this whole situation. He's not going to be the example that Samoa Joe uses to make a statement. That's not how the man beast rolls, and so that's why he stormed into Triple H's office, the current interim Raw general manager and COO of WWE. He stormed into his office after the fact, after the show, and he said, give me a match with Samoa Joe. I want Samoa Joe. And he's getting him tonight. Rhino making his way to the ring, but Samoa Joe's not getting out of the way. Samoa Joe, he's not going to sacrifice that ring just so Rhino can run into it. And he's saying, well, what are you going to wait? You're going to bring it on? And here we go. The match is underway. No wasted motion. No time to spare. Rhino and Samoa Joe, they're going at it, kicking off Monday Night Raw with a full-on car crash, not wasting any time, going straight for the throat, both of these two men. And it is just an all-in-all, an out-and-out slugfest right now. His punches, elbows, you name it. Rhino and Samoa Joe are just pummeling each other out there. And this is how we are starting things here. Oh, God. This is how we're kicking off this edition of Monday Night Raw with red-hot action, and it's right off the bat, as Samoa Joe drives the knee into the face of Rhino. Rhino, he started off on the hot foot, started off coming right at Samoa Joe, but now he's on the receiving end as Samoa Joe applies this dragon sleeper. Rhino, is he going to pass out from the pain? No. Joe trying to choke him out. Rhino able to break out of it and delivers a massive boot to the midsection, sending Samoa Joe under the bottom rope to the outside. Joe trying to escape, try to catch his breath, but it's not going to happen because there's Rhino. Rhino takes him off the ropes. A gore off the apron. Rhino pulling no punches, but oh wait, Samoa Joe caught the kick. And Samoa Joe takes Rhino down on the outside floor. And there's really no time to breathe, no time to catch a breath here at the start of this show, because we are just continuing. The action continues, and these two men, certainly, they're not pulling any punches. Down on the outside, Rhino getting draped across the barricade. Samoa Joe just tried to do a dive, try to dive to the floor and try to crush Rhino under his weight. Rhino partially able to get out of the way, but it wasn't quite enough to shut down Joe's rally completely. But now Rhino's starting to turn things around, and Samoa Joe whipped into the barricade by the man beast is now Rhino. Rhino with a couple of extra shots as Joe draped against that barricade. Well, the action right now sure is fast and furious, but later on tonight we will be seeing in the very next matchup, a matchup that, well, was set up a couple of weeks ago. It'll be Noam Dar going one-on-one with the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. And of course, that's still stemming back from Cyber Sunday. A lot has gone down in the last couple of weeks in the build-up to SummerSlam. But not only that, we will also see Nikki Cross make her in-ring debut as she goes one-on-one with Brie Bella. So, this episode, it's going to be hectic. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be intense. I mean, there truly is no better way to kick off a show like this than with the type of action we have seen in this matchup. This absolute car crash as Rhino barely gets back into the ring before getting counted out. But, I mean, he had to run back in, and Samoa Joe was there waiting for him. Oh, running senton. I mean, Rhino's... I mean, this might be the beginning of the end. I mean, Rhino, he had no choice. He had to run back into the ring, but Samoa Joe was there for him. And now Samoa Joe. Well, yeah, if Rhino wasn't out cold already, he will be now. Samoa Joe with a coquina clutch. And Rhino trapped nowhere near ropes for a rope break. And the referee has rung the bell. Rhino is out. Rhino is passed out cold. But Samoa Joe refuses to break the hold. I mean, the match is over. The referee has called this one off. But Samoa Joe refuses to break the cold. We'll let him out. Somebody's got to... Well, wait a minute. Somebody is coming to help. Here comes the World Heavyweight Champion. The Swiss Superman Cesaro is coming to the ring, and he's not even in his ring attire. He nearly got crushed by Rhino. As Samoa Joe just tossed Rhino outside of the ring, nearly flattened Cesaro using Rhino's dead weight. And now Cesaro, the World Champion's defenseless. Samoa Joe, well, I mean, this is ridiculous. Samoa Joe decided not to fight Cesaro last week, just send the message. And now this week, despite the fact that Samoa Joe was the man who was just in the ring, in some in-ring competition, he was able to use Rhino to get the upper hand on Cesaro, to throw him off. I mean, And I mean, look at this. Cesaro, he's out here in a suit. He is not dressed to compete tonight. He wasn't scheduled for in-ring competition. He was just coming out here to try to help Rhino, try to save him from just the absolute madman that is Samoa Joe. And now, well, this is how Cesaro's getting rewarded for it. He's getting the crap kicked out of him by Samoa Joe. As now Samoa Joe whips him into the table. I mean, Cesaro is defenseless right now. I mean, he came down here with a full head of steam. But, I mean, Samoa Joe threw him off when he tossed Rhino outside of the ring. And Cesaro's never been able to recover from that. As now you see Samoa Joe just continues to strike away with a kendo stick now. I mean, Samoa Joe is relentless. The world champion might not even make it to SummerSlam. Samoa Joe is out to take his head off right now. But then again, I guess if you're Samoa Joe, you got to make sure that Cesaro is not injured before that matchup. I mean, Samoa Joe, he wants that World Heavyweight Championship, and if Cesaro is not fit to compete at SummerSlam, well, he's not going to be able to take it from him. At least not on that occasion. And of course, if you do... This is ridiculous, though. I mean, Rhino's been laid out, and now Cesaro... I mean, Cesaro tried to come down here and do the noble thing. Tried to come out here and come to the aid of Rhino, and now he's getting put through a table for his troubles. But Samoa Joe's still not done. Samoa Joe... I mean, the world champion may be tough, but Samoa Joe... I mean, he's got him in the palm of his hand right now. I mean, how often do we see the world champion manhandled like this? And now Samoa Joe's going to put him through the second table. Damn it. Samoa Joe gets the cheap shot. He pulls one over on Cesaro here tonight. And sends yet another message before their world title match at SummerSlam. And don't get too comfortable, folks, because we are jumping right into the next matchup. The action, like I said, it's fast and furious tonight here on Monday Night Raw. It's the World Heavyweight Champion left laying at the start of the show, and as always, I mean, there is a demon lurking out there in the shadows somewhere. And at some point, the demon will be ready to strike. You never know. When will we see the return of Finn Balor? When will we see the return of the demon? Well, speaking of someone who is wasting no time in striking, in making his mark, Noam Dar, the man who, well, he didn't get his opportunity at the U.S. title at Cyber Sunday. He was not voted in by the fans. So instead, he chose to take his opportunity himself. He chose to go out there in the middle of just at the tail end of the 6-man tag involving Baron Corbin, the Revival, and the Motley Crew, as we've called them, of Sheamus, Seth Rollins, and Fandango. And Noam Dar, he made sure to leave his mark. I mean, it's all about leaving a mark here tonight. You have Samoa Joe using Rhino to make a statement. You have Noam Dar trying to use Sheamus to make a statement, try to further his cause to get a shot at Sin Cara's United States Championship. And of course, later on tonight, we will see the United States Champion Sin Cara in our main event, as he will go one-on-one with the Brian Kendrick. So Noam Dar, he's not the only man trying to pursue that United States Championship. So Dar, I mean, a victory over Sheamus here tonight will certainly mean big things, big business for him. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he will be next in line for the U.S. Championship. I mean, hey, if the Brian Kendrick defeats Sin Cara in our main event tonight, well then Brian Kendrick will find himself in that #1 contender's position. So Noam Dar, he's got to play his cards right. He's got to watch himself. And to be fair, I don't know if picking a fight with a guy like Sheamus is necessarily the smartest strategy you could have. I mean, Noam Dar, sure, a victory over a former 3-time world champion would be tremendous. So, I mean, you have to admit that Noam Dar, I mean, that takes some serious guts to go after someone with the pedigree of Sheamus. And I mean, you're talking about an angry Irishman here. Noam Dar, certainly, I mean, Sheamus, if you got to pick a fight with somebody, I don't know if Sheamus is the guy you go for. I mean, we've seen Noam Dar pick on the weak. We've seen him single out Fandango in the past just to get a contract here. I mean, Noam Dar, I guess eventually you got to reap what you sow, and Noam Dar certainly has been sowing some ugly seeds. Wait a minute. Oh, look at this. Noam Dar, he was going to skedaddle out of this matchup, but that's not really what he had in mind. Oh no. Noam Dar. Well, Noam Dar now, he's paying for it. This is what I talk about, reap what you sow. Noam Dar tried to get cheeky, took a cheap shot on Sheamus, tried to... I mean, Noam Dar, I'd imagine he'd be fairly evenly matched with Sheamus, so he tried to give himself the advantage. But, I mean, look at this now. He's over the barricade. He's got no choice. Sheamus is standing right there. Noam Dar, we're up to a count of 7. Dar's going to have to get back in the ring as he jumps the barricade, but Sheamus knocks him right back over. And now Sheamus into the ring. Referee at a count of 9. Noam Dar might get counted out of this matchup. He has no choice but to charge back into the ring, and Sheamus is right there waiting for him. And now listen to the crowd. The crowd normally would chant this at Sheamus, would call Sheamus stupid. But tonight, well, that chant has sort of reversed itself, and now it's Noam Dar who's the one who's left looking stupid. And I gotta be honest, I mean, I know I'm supposed to be impartial here on commentary, but seeing Noam Dar try to pull off some sneaky tricks, like what he tried to do in this matchup, like what he's done in the past, and just to see it blow up in his face, gotta admit, it's a little satisfying. As Sheamus now goes into the cover off the clothesline, there's a 1 count, but not a 2. Dar quickly kicks out. And now Sheamus with a clubbing blow right to the face. And now an elbow to the heart. And now Noam Dar, well, he picked this fight with Sheamus. He's the one who aggravated the Great White, and now Noam Dar is going to pay dearly for it. Nope, dodges that clothesline, but look at Sheamus again. Just when Noam Dar manages to get a counter, Sheamus shoves him right back down to the canvas, and now Sheamus continues to go to work as Noam Dar. Noam Dar eats a knee to the midsection, and now a couple of stomps, rather. Sheamus trying to cave his chest in and mocking him in the process. I mean, it's not too often. I mean, for so long, Sheamus he felt as though the crowd had turned on him, and he just did not. I mean, the crowd was not on his side at all. And now tonight, to really see the crowd get behind him and just mock Noam Dar in a way that they would normally have mocked Sheamus in the past. I mean, I'm sure it's got to feel good for the former world champion. So, I mean, naturally, you'd think he'd be reveling in that a bit. It's been so long since he's had the support of the crowd. Soak it in while he still can. As now Noam Dar up on the shoulders of Sheamus, and Sheamus, he's looking for white noise. And that might be all Noam Dar is hearing at the end of this night as Sheamus goes for the cover. And 2, and it's over. No white noise, no curtains for Noam Dar just yet. He's still... We haven't heard the sound of that bell yet. Noam Dar, his chance at victory tonight, he's hanging on to it by a thread, though. By a very thin thread. As now Sheamus dumps him over the top. And look at Sheamus. Sheamus, the 10 beats of Noam Dar's chest. As he, continues to try to cave Noam Dar's chest in. And Noam Dar, goodbye. To the floor he goes. And you can hear the crowd just continue to chant at him. And Noam Dar, this matchup, he certainly started off with a very strong start as he was able to, take a cheap shot on Sheamus from behind. But how quickly and how dramatically that has turned against him, that has backfired on him, as now he's the one who's getting mocked. Oh, but wait, Noam Dar this time suckering Sheamus in and taking him down with the Fisherman Suplex. And now we might finally start to see a bit of offense in this matchup from Noam Dar. So you can see Sheamus grabbing at that arm that Noam Dar just stomped on. Of course, you got to watch out for Dar's devastating knee bar. The Champagne Super Knee Bar, he calls it. Fitting, coming from the Champagne Supernova, Noam Dar himself. But Dar, he might not just be targeting the leg tonight. It's Dar really just anything he can do to try to neutralize the power game of Sheamus. Anything he can do, whether it's take out the arm, take out the leg. Right now, he's focusing on the leg. Anything that Noam Dar can do to try to make up for that size, that strength disadvantage he's got. But Noam Dar's going to put some of his power on display anyway. Vertical suplex, lifting Sheamus up from the mat. And that's just the tremendous talent that Noam Dar possesses. I talk about his tactics. I talk about, his... he certainly isn't one for honor, this Noam Dar. But you cannot deny that he is gifted. He has the skill to... the man, for someone at his age, to be doing the things that he does, to have made as much of a name for himself as he has, to be on the grand stage in a WWE ring like this, and to be putting on the performances that he has been, that he is capable of putting on, certainly it has to be admired. But then again, I guess the question is, how far is he going to be able to get with that kind of mentality? Will it earn him the United States Championship, or does he still have a... the thing is, with youth, wisdom is sort of the antithesis of youth. So, perhaps Noam Dar still has a lot to learn. Well, right now, he certainly has a smart strategy, targeting the leg of Sheamus. Just trying to rip it out of its socket. Soften him up for the Champagne Super Knee Bar, but Sheamus kicks out the leg of Noam Dar, creates separation, and now it's Sheamus who's going to send Dar off the ropes. Oh, but wait! Dar able to block it, and Noam Dar just kicked out the leg. Noam Dar just kicked out the foundation of Sheamus. He was able to stop himself, prevent Sheamus from using that momentum off the ropes against him. And now Dar goes right back to that leg. Very wise, very smart tactics on display here from Noam Dar. That's the thing about Dar, is he's very methodical. He's very tactical out there. He might not be able to outpower you. He might not even be faster than you. But he will certainly out-wrestle you. He doesn't necessarily fight the hardest, but some could argue he fights the smartest. As now Dar the cover, off the inverted face buster, there's a 2 count. He might have the 3, he doesn't have the 3. As now it's Sheamus who's the one knocking on heaven's door right now, as Sheamus is in trouble. It could be the beginning of the end. Noam Dar sizing him up in the corner. He's looking for the running enziguri. No! Sheamus sidestepped. Sheamus got out of the way. And now Noam Dar will look out behind Dar. He couldn't find him. And now Sheamus. There's 1. There's 2. And he's looking for the trifecta. Irish Curse backbreaker. back to back to back Irish Curse backbreakers. And there's only one thing that could be coming next. As Sheamus to the corner. Here it comes. Lining it up. Bro kick. Bro kick. Noam Dar, his lights might be out. 1, 2, and it's over. It's not over. Where did Noam Dar find the resolve, the strength to kick out of the bro kick? Sheamus down into the cover, hook of the leg again. He doesn't believe it. He thinks it's a fluke. It's not a fluke. Noam Dar, by the skin of his teeth, is still in this matchup. And Sheamus now, well, Sheamus, he's had his moment of frustration, and I don't know, has that given Dar too much time to recover? He's going to try to look for that powerbomb. Nope, 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 nope. Dar ducks out the back. 1, 2, no, no. Sheamus reverses the pressure. Dar's in trouble. Dar might be out. Dar kicks out. As Noam Dar, or Sheamus rather, was looking. Oh, counter by Noam Dar. Sheamus was looking for that vintage powerbomb of his, but he was unable to get it. He was looking for the high cross. Dar had the counter, and now Noam Dar, he's fighting for dear life. He's trying to hang in there, but Dar, he's got to be. He's taken tremendous punishment. He's got to be a little wobbly out there, and some of his kicks aren't even connecting. Sheamus, though, he connected with that massive knee, and now the Celtic Warrior climbs to the top rope. It's not often that we see Sheamus do this, but battering ram. No! Sheamus went for the battering ram, the shoulder block, and Noam Dar caught him in midair, turned him into a power slam, and now look at this. Noam Dar's got the champagne super knee bar. The champagne super knee bar. A plan executed to perfection. Sheamus, can he break out of it? He cannot. Sheamus had to tap out before Noam Dar snapped his knee in half. And the champagne supernova. Noam Dar picks up a tremendous victory tonight over the Celtic Warrior. Defeats a former World Heavyweight Champion. And Noam Dar, if he wanted to send a message, if he wanted to make a statement at Sheamus's expense, well, he has done just that. A tremendous performance by Noam Dar. It's certainly the hardest we've had to see Noam Dar work. Noam Dar, you cannot deny, despite his tactics, he has the ability. He's someone you got to watch out for in the future. I have just received word with regards to next week's show that in the main event, the #1 contendership for the Raw Tag Team titles will be decided as the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, take on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Not only that, but the official World Heavyweight Championship contract signing for SummerSlam will also take place next week. So Samoa Joe and Cesaro will be in the same ring at the same time. That is sure to be hellacious. But for one more blockbuster announcement, well, I guess this is less of the blockbuster part, but it's more of an announcement because Triple H next week will be here at Monday Night Raw to make a blockbuster announcement. Yeah, it's a little weird announcement of an announcement, but it's going to happen. Triple H will be in the building next week, and he will be addressing the WWE Universe. What does Triple H have in store? I don't know. You don't know, but we're all going to find out next week. Wait, you can't be serious. Fandango, the party animal, might... The party might be done for the party animal? Well, look who it is. Long time no see, it's the Viper, Randy Orton. And of course, Randy Orton gonna rain on No Way Jose's parade. No Way Jose, oh my god! RKO! RKO out of nowhere! And No Way Jose has just been laid out backstage. Well, poor No Way Jose, he was just there trying to give Fandango a bit of a pep talk, and he gets laid out by Randy Orton. Well, it's been quite a while since we last saw Randy Orton at a Raw event. The last time we saw him compete was against the Demon Finn Balor at Battleground. So, I guess welcome back Randy Orton. I wonder what the future is going to hold for him. But right now, it's time for some women's action. Brie Bella, this matchup has been several weeks in the making. Brie Bella, she was going to make an announcement. She did make an announcement a couple of weeks back on Monday Night Raw. It seemed as though some people considered that Brie Bella might have been prepared to retire, but that was not the case. At least it didn't seem to be. She came out to apologize, to say that she was going to do better. She was going to make up for the mistakes that she had made in the past. But then she was immediately attacked by Nikki Cross. And, well, she got a bit of retribution. A bit of retribution on a recent episode of SmackDown, where in the middle of the SmackDown Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament, she, along with Roman Reigns, came down to the ring and, well, distracted Sanity, went on to cost them the match. But Brie Bella in particular set her sights on Nikki Cross, and she made sure that Nikki Cross knew that she was not going to back down. You know, Nikki Cross, very, very mysterious, very bizarre woman, this Nikki Cross. You can't imagine. You can't even begin to imagine what goes on inside the warped mind of somebody like that. But Brie Bella, she not going to show any signs of backing down, not going to show that she's intimidated by Nikki Cross. And, well, she's going to get what she wants, whether it's what's best for her or not. She wanted this match with Nikki Cross, and she's going to get it tonight, up next. And as for Nikki Cross, well, she's technically not under, an official contract with the WWE. I mean, she is under, she's a part of this new superstar initiative, Nikki Cross. I mean, we've seen superstar after superstar appear and compete for a chance at winning an official WWE contract. But Nikki Cross, not contracted with either show. But here's her opportunity to pick up that contract tonight if she can defeat Brie Bella in the ring. As now you see Brie Bella wasting no time going after Nikki Cross. But Nikki Cross just shut her down immediately. And now look at Nikki Cross just tearing at her own hair. And now she's going to take a seat. What is Nikki Cross doing? Well, Brie Bella not going to play these mind games with Nikki Cross, but then again, is she going to be able to keep up with her at all? Is Nikki Cross now just vicious stomp, using the ropes for elevation, and now Nikki Cross with devastating headbutts. And Brie Bella, she's just had nothing from the start. And you just see Nikki Cross, I mean, she's possessed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have to commend Brie Bella for coming out here and even asking for this match with Nikki Cross, to even go out there and attack her herself. But if it were me, I would want no piece of this woman, Nikki Cross. She's psychotic. As you can hear, the crowd is just in absolute silence. I mean, they don't know what to make of this situation. I don't know what to make of this situation. I mean, that's just the atmosphere that comes around Nikki Cross. You can't read her. You never know what she's thinking. I mean, jeez. Well, Brie Bella finally starting to go on the offensive here. Brie Bella is finally starting to rally against Nikki Cross. Some elbows, kicks. I mean, she's got to do whatever she can to try to mount any sort of offensive attack on Nikki Cross, but I mean, the minute she starts, she gets shut down. Is Nikki Cross now going to toss her back, the back of her head, bouncing her off the canvas? I mean, Nikki Cross isn't giving her any room to breathe, and now just hammering away, just pummeling her. I mean, Nikki Cross, she's got to have a vicious streak a mile long. I mean, that's one way to describe her, certainly. I'm sure there's more than just a vicious streak. There's Brie Bella, well, she's managed to get a strike in on her there. Brie Bella's not going to back down. I mean, she's getting massacred out there, but she's got the fighting spirit, and I guess you can at least credit her for that. But now Nikki Cross, drapes her across the top rope. Hangs her out to dry. And I mean, how much longer is this going to go on for? What more does Brie Bella have left? Well, not much. Maybe not much after this, because Nikki Cross spins her around. Oh, Jesus! Drives her down, hook of the leg, 2. And that's that. This match is over. Well, Brie Bella, admire the fighting spirit, admire the gumption to go after Nikki Cross, to request this match. Oh, what the hell? What the hell is Nikki Cross doing? She's got a table. Well, the match is over. You won, Nikki. What is going through this woman's head? She's not just out for the contract. She's not just here to pick up victories. She's out to end Brie Bella's career. Is there something personal? Oh my God, Nikki Bella! Nikki Bella coming to the aid of her sister Brie, as Nikki Cross didn't even see her. Well, Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, they certainly have not been on the same page. It's been a while since they've last worked together, but Nikki Cross sees that her sister's in trouble. Her career is at stake. And Nikki Bella getting right in the face, and Nikki Cross, well, she had her days for a moment, but that didn't last long. That didn't last long, as now Nikki Cross. Now Nikki Cross is going after Nikki Bella, but there's Brie. Brie Bella, you saw a bit of hesitation there. She almost wasn't sure if she was going to go over and help her sister. I mean, there's bad blood there. But now look at this. It's the two Bella twins standing tall as Nikki Cross dumped outside of the ring. And, well, I mean, Nikki Cross, she might just be crazy enough to take these two women on herself. Wait, she's laughing. Well, Nikki Cross, now she's pacing around outside of the ring. Is she going to go after him, or is she... What is going through Nikki Cross's head? I can't read her. I have no idea what she could be thinking. Well, looks like she's backing off. The Bella twins stand tall tonight, but I mean, for how long are they going to be singing this tune? Well, it will be the Outcasts taking on the winner of next week's main event, the Usos or the Club. Who's going to be the #1 contenders for the tag team titles? But wait a minute. We want to talk about #1 contenders. We're looking at the top 2 challengers for the United States Championship right here. Well, it's obvious that these two men just absolutely despise each other. They loathe each other. I mean, for Brian Kendrick, he's not even willing to address Noam Dar by name. He just calls him Kid. And, I mean, I don't know. Sin Cara, he's going to be going up against either one of these two men at SummerSlam. And, I mean, the pressure is certainly on Brian Kendrick to perform tonight. Not to say that he can't, but we saw Noam Dar defeat the Celtic Warrior Sheamus in, I gotta be honest, it was a tremendous performance. It's an eye-opener for sure. I mean, if you weren't invested in Noam Dar by this point, I mean, you gotta at least give him some credit for that performance he showed tonight. And as Noam Dar is gonna start getting more eyes on him, the pre-established reputation of the Brian Kendrick, well, I mean, that can only get you so far. Kendrick, we did see him put up a tremendous fight against the World Heavyweight Champion Cesaro a while back. We saw him defeat Sami Zayn, but now, I mean, the pressure's on. Can he defeat the United States Champion Sin Cara? Because if he can, I mean, it's as simple as that. He's #1 contender. If you beat the champion, you pretty much become the #1 contender automatically. And, I mean, that's really all it takes. This is the closest the Brian Kendrick has thus far been to a United States Championship match. This isn't like Cyber Sunday where his fate rested in the hands of the WWE Universe. Tonight, it's up to him to perform. It's up to him to get the job done. Otherwise, Noam Dar, he's waiting in the wings, and he will absolutely he'll pick up the ball if Brian Kendrick drops it. And as for Sin Cara, he's just the man caught in the middle. And Sin Cara's the champ, he's the man everybody's gunning for, and as the champion, you have that target on your back. Sometimes, it's not all about you. You know, just because you become the champion, sometimes you get caught up in other people's stories. Sometimes you get caught up in the business of others. And as the champion, all you have to do is defend your title. And Sin Cara, I mean, he was able to do that at Cyber Sunday. He was able to defeat his former tag team partner, Kalisto. And SummerSlam is the next big challenge for him. Who will he have to face, and will he be able to defeat them? I mean, if he defeats Brian Kendrick tonight, we can pretty much assume that it's Noam Dar. And if Sin Cara can beat Brian Kendrick tonight, and then defeat Noam Dar at SummerSlam, well then, both of them, I mean, it's pretty simple. Both of them, they would each have had their shots at Sin Cara, and Sin Cara will have dealt with them, and then someone else is gonna have to step up. That's the life of a champion. You don't get a moment's rest. It's just challenger after challenger, one after another, and it's your job as the champ to shut him down. And Sin Cara, he's been able to do that so far. He's beaten Neville. He's beaten Kalisto's perhaps the two most talented high flyers in the game. But now, he's not going up against a high flyer. He might be going up against another cruiserweight, but the Brian Kendrick, he's not a high flyer. He's not going to pull out the same high-risk moves, the same over-the-top dives that you'd see from a Neville or a Kalisto. Brian Kendrick, he's similar to Noam Dar in that he is much more tactical, much more methodical. He's very smart out there in that ring. And Sin Cara, well, Sin Cara, it's a matter of, maybe Sin Cara, if it comes down to, I mean, I'd have to say in the battle between Noam Dar and Brian Kendrick, and this also applies to Sin Cara to an extent, it really is a battle of raw talent versus, just mental prowess. Who, I gotta be honest, I don't think Brian Kendrick is as talented as Noam Dar. Hell, I don't think he's as talented as Sin Cara. That's the thing about Brian Kendrick, is that the way that he competes, the way that he wrestles, it's something that really anybody can do. It's all about book smarts. It's all about going out there and wrestling smart and just knowing your opponent's weaknesses. As Brian Kendrick, oh jeez! Sin Cara just face smashed into the knee of Brian Kendrick. There's that vicious streak of Brian Kendrick. But as I was saying, anybody can do what Brian Kendrick does. He said it himself. But it's just that not many people do. Not many people have the mental ingenuity to actually pull it off. Or they don't have the determination to stick with it. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Brian Kendrick went to the outside, took a moment to catch his breath, but really what he was doing was trying to see if Sin Cara would take the bait and dive over the top rope, and that's just what he did. And now Brian Kendrick, well, he's going to pick up the pieces like a vulture. And Sin Cara is nothing but a sitting duck, as there's a cover, but a kick out at one by Sin Cara. The champion, not going to show any weakness in the face of this wily challenger, is now Brian Kendrick, dragging him away from those ropes. See, Brian Kendrick, he's smart. He's always aware of his ring presence. He wants to make sure that Sin Cara doesn't have a chance to slip out of the ring or grab at the ropes to try to, pull himself away to create distance. But Sin Cara with a punch to the midsection. Sin Cara now has got Brian Kendrick up on his shoulders. Takes him down with a Samoan drop. That's signature Sin Cara, as now he goes for the cover, but a kick out at one by Brian Kendrick. As now it's Brian Kendrick who is going to show that defiance. And Sin Cara, you got to be careful with a guy like Brian Kendrick, because we saw what happened. Sin Cara tried to take a risk early on, but he just played right into the mind games of Brian Kendrick. He fell right into Kendrick's trap. And that's what you got to be careful of when you're fighting Brian Kendrick. He'll lay traps for you, and you got to make sure. I mean, it's like going out there walking on eggshells, walking on landmines. You got to be careful, watch your step, because you run the risk of setting him off. As Sin Cara tries to pull himself up to his feet on the ropes, and there you see, Brian Kendrick is going to use those ropes to full effectiveness. I mean, it's not pretty. Definitely dirty tactics being used by Kendrick, but trying to choke out Sin Cara using the ropes. And I mean, referee, you got to watch Kendrick. You can't let him do stuff like that. But hey, Kendrick, he'll bend the rules. He'll do what it takes to make up. I mean, Kendrick, he's aware that he's not the most talented guy out there in the ring, but he knows how to make up for his weaknesses, and that's not something that's easy to do. Not many people can do that. I mean, it's not that they don't have the ability to, but they don't quite know how to process it, or they don't really know how to even start, where to start, because to find the flaws in yourself, I mean, it's not an easy thing. To be able to self-analyze and adapt on the fly, it's not easy to do, but Brian Kendrick, he's been in that ring for so long. He's a veteran of the industry. So he knows more than a few tricks. He knows what it takes to go out there and get the job done. I mean, he's a former tremendous... Oh, wait. Look at this. Sin Cara looking for a powerbomb. Brian Kendrick rolls through. You got the 2. Is he going to get the 3? No. Sin Cara kicks out. I mean, Brian Kendrick now off the ropes. DDT. Sin Cara, just as he gets to his feet, he gets planted right back down on his face by a massive DDT from Kendrick. And Brian Kendrick, he is a former WWE Tag Team Champion, a tremendous tag team reign. Oh, wait a minute, look at this! Brian Kendrick with the sliced bread, Sin Cara stacked on his shoulders, and Brian Kendrick, no! I thought he had just scored a tremendous victory over Sin Cara, but not so fast. Sin Cara digging into the reserves, doing whatever it takes to survive this massive onslaught at the hands of Brian Kendrick. As now Kendrick, just a few clubbing blows to that masked face of Sin Cara, and now he's got a camel clutch applied. And you can see that's smart by Kendrick. He's got Sin Cara angled away from the ropes, so even though Sin Cara is pretty close to a rope break, he couldn't see it. So he had to expend the extra energy to power out of it himself. And now look at Sin Cara, Got him with the roll-up, though. Brian Kendrick's in trouble. Brian Kendrick might be done. No. Kendrick just barely hangs on. Hanging on for dear life, but now Sin Cara's got him backed into the corner. Sin Cara's going to take him up top. And this is a dangerous place for Brian Kendrick. Oh, but Kendrick with the elbow. And now he's the one in control. Drop kick off the top rope, right to Sin Cara's masked face. And now Brian Kendrick is going on the attack. He's got Sin Cara right where he wants him. Sin Cara, he's off his balance. And now Brian Kendrick takes him to the corner. Tornado DDT. Devastating tornado DDT. Sin Cara, center of the ring, but no, Sin Cara shows the fight of a champion, the heart of a warrior. As he's able to get back up, counter with a jawbreaker, and now back and forth these two men go, knife edge chop after knife edge chop. And Brian Kendrick, he's calling him out, but oh, Sin Cara with the enziguri. Brian Kendrick saying, is that all you got? And Sin Cara says, no, I've got more. Here's another shot for you. And now Sin Cara, look at the strength of Sin Cara. Rolled through into a schoolboy powerbomb, just lifted him up with one arm. And now the cover by Sin Cara, hook of the outside leg. Kendrick might be done. He's done. Not done. I'm getting ahead of myself. Kendrick somehow able to survive. Sin Cara now. Sin Cara's beside himself. Brian Kendrick, I mean, that's the thing. Kendrick, I feel like a lot of people underestimate him. You think because of his age that he can't hang with some of the best today, with the younger kids who've got an extra spring in their step. But Kendrick can go. Kendrick is a man that you cannot count out. And now Sin Cara, he realizes that he's got to give it everything he's got to put Kendrick away. And a suicide dive to the floor. Sin Cara risking everything to try to put away the veteran. And you can hear the crowd chanting, this is awesome. Kendrick and Sin Cara putting on a clinic in that ring tonight. And this is your main event of Monday Night Raw. Truly a matchup fitting of the main event. Truly a matchup fitting of the United States Championship. As now look at the strength of Sin Cara. I mean, how much damage Sin Cara has taken, but he's still able to oh man, to power Brian Kendrick up there. And this is where, I mean, Sin Cara, that talent, that ability he possesses, starts to come into effect. A powerbomb on the apron, then swung him around. It's definitely not the same power behind that. Oh wait, now we got to cover. Now we got to cover by Sin Cara. Is it going to be enough? No. That's the thing. An apron powerbomb like that might not pack the same power as a guy like Kevin Owens, but it's still just as devastating. But Sin Cara got caught. Brian Kendrick caught him by the foot. And now the Brian Kendrick with a clothesline, sending Sin Cara head over heels to the floor. And now Brian Kendrick. Well, Brian Kendrick, he could take a win by countout here. I mean, it would be just as impressive. I mean, a victory over the United States champion is a victory over the United States champion. It doesn't matter how you do it. As, oh, a boot to the side of the head. Sin Cara draped across the barricade, crashing to the floor. Oh, and now a kick to the back by Kendrick. Kendrick slowing things down a bit here. I mean, but again, Kendrick, he knows his weaknesses. He knows that his body has taken tremendous damage. He knows how to pace himself. Wait a minute. What the hell? Kendrick, look out behind you. Kendrick, look out. The referee was checking on Sin Cara. The referee's checking on Sin Cara in the ring, making sure Sin Cara is still conscious. Meanwhile, on the outside, Brian Kendrick just gets clobbered by Noam Dar. And enziguri to the side of the head as the referee now, I mean, the referee took his eyes off of Brian Kendrick for a minute, and now he's counting him out. Kendrick knocked out by Noam Dar, by an enziguri by Noam Dar. And Kendrick's not going to be able to answer the count. And Brian Kendrick loses this match by countout, but meanwhile, there's a bigger story brewing here. Noam Dar has cost Brian Kendrick the opportunity of a lifetime, and where Brian Kendrick drops the ball, Noam Dar is waiting to pick it back up. Well, we're out of time, folks. I guess I'll see you in the next one.